Resolution 129-22. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Sales, that the minutes of the special council meeting held May 30th, 2022 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 130-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council accept the Joint Health and Safety Committee operating procedures and terms of reference as agreed between the Township of Schreiber and members of the Joint Health and Safety Committee, and that the mayor and the CAO clerk be authorized to sign the document. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 131-22. Moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that council declare the 144 recreation hall folding chairs and 4 trolleys as surplus assets to be disposed of, and that the chairs and trolleys be advertised for sale on Gov Deals at an opening bid of $2,500. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 132-22. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the recreation programmer be authorized to sign the live performance contract between the Township of Schreiber and the Sensational Hot Rods for the group to perform July 23rd, 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 133-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council approved the Recreation and Festivals Committee's plan for the Canada Day event. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 134-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Sales, that the Lake Superior High School Prom Committee be approved for a grant and aid in the amount of $443.07, excluding applicable taxes, for the use of the large size of the recreation hall on June 18th, 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 135-22, moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that the bank debits paid out of the general bank account in the month of April 2022 in the amount of $37,364.01 be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 136-22, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of May 2022 in the amount of $172,000, $172,128.28 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 137-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Sales, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of May 2022 in the amount of $53,159.97 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 138-22, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric, that bylaw 23-2022 being a bylaw to authorize the sales of land 107 Ontario Street, PTABIK of land at Schreiber Divisional Station E of Nibegon River Prisk as in TBR 332499 S/T interest in TBR 322527 Schreiber to Jacques Lafleur be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor?
Complex legal description.
Wow.
Where would you get that legal description? Is that on record or?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's 107 Ontario Street.
Got it. Depending on how the title was originally created, right? You may most are very straightforward. They'll just have the registered plan lot.
Yeah.
So that would be it.
But the title is, it would be the existing owner, or am I missing something here? Like,
No, this is just a legal description for the property.
oh, okay, there you go.
That was 138, Nathan? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Resolution 139-22, moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that bylaw 24-2022 being a bylaw to adopt an accessibility plan and rescind bylaw 41-2020 be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. So with that part of the meeting, we'll move into the committee of the whole meeting, department reports and committee board minutes. Number one, the CAO clerk report, community safety and well-being plan.
We got two recommendations here. That Council of the Township of Schreiber authorize the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber's 1/4 share of payments to Terrace Bay for the consulting fees to prepare a community safety and well-being plan by Investigative Solutions Network, ISN, in the amount of $8,137.50 plus applicable taxes. And that Council adopt the Township of Schreiber Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan prepared by ISN. Beyond just the community safety wellbeing plan, I mean the main takeaways there in that plan is the creation of a new planning committee. So that's something I'm just working on the feasibility in terms of how we're going to be adopting that for us here. I got something in the works. I'm working on drafting a terms of reference for it. So hopefully we can get that committee up and running. I am looking to potentially work with Terrace Bay for this committee too. Perhaps it'll be a model, will be some of our local, what do you say, organizations that provide mental health to social work, for instance. Anything healthcare related, they can go on there too. I'm thinking a representative from council, one from Schreiber, one from Terrace. I'll have to work out the terms of reference with Terrace Bay and see what all parties think of. It actually recommends two separate committees to be created. I think for efficiency purposes, we can consolidate them into one.
Well, we share the same
Yep.
community services. So
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense to have those people at two separate things.
Exactly.
Okay, I think we can go ahead with that. Next is a treasurer report, council expenses remuneration.
It's just an update again on expenses to date.
Number 3, Director of Operations report, the status update. You got any questions for Tammy? She's right there.
Yeah, so there are problems with the boiler, Tammy, because I was approached by a rate taxpayer about smoke coming out of the stacks here in the municipal complex.
Yes, I'm expecting Cloud Darling to come
Yeah.
with a team of experts to assess the situation and to make recommendations. We've also found recently a possible grant that we can look at to help us update and replace the old boiler.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, I seen that yesterday or the day before.
And I've had that. The school said that one year. The school thought the building was on fire.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so,
I took a video of the chimney today too. It's smoking very odd. So, and it shouldn't even have been on today. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it, but Barry from Cloud Darling is bringing his boiler expert, his chimney expert, and we'll take a
Okay.
look at things.
good deal.
In the meantime, we're trying to, like Tammy said, look at ways to get a grant and then probably go propane. Just natural gas.
Is that the original boiler for this building?
Yes.
That was built in what, 63 or something?
62.
62?
Yeah, I think it's close to 60 years old. I think the nameplate on it.
Okay, and no more questions on that part of it. Occupational Health and Safety Committee meeting minutes. Hearing nothing on that. Number 5, Recreation Programmer report for the Canada Day road closure.
Of course, we had the recommendation from the recreation programmer for authorization to proceed with notifying necessary departments and emergency services of the road closure on Hillview Street from the intersections of Alberta Street to Park Street on Friday, July 1st, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for Canada Day, for the Canada Day Soapbox Derby.
Would be good
You
with
obviously
that.
tell the residents of that street as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Should be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Or go in, enter one.
No.
Let's build one, Dan, show him who's the boss.
We used to do that all the time.
Yeah, so that when I was a kid.
Number 6, bylaw enforcement report.
While we're on the bylaw, I've just noticed driving around several vehicles and stuff on lots and probably some property standard violations. I'm wondering if she might want to do a drive around or something in the future, in the next week or so, or
We did
like she could be dealing with those, but I can't tell that from this report, you know.
exactly. And always, if there is anything that you want to ever go into more detail, in the following agenda, we can schedule something in our closed agenda to discuss it further. I did go with her with a preliminary property standards and residential vacant lot land maintenance bylaw review. So we do that and we try to take advantage of spring cleans. So we can send out notices of violation that allows people to put any sort of junk.
Yeah, I'm
send it
just
off
seeing
to
some
spring
people
clean.
didn't take advantage of spring cleanup this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can certainly do another check and send out notices if that's the case.
Now, and then another thing, just with bylaw,
Yep.
I know it's like complaint driven and there's the form and whatever.
Yep.
Is it a must that the person complaining has to give their name, or can it be anonymous?
Yes, it's a must according to the policy.
Do you see that as a deterrent to filling it out for some people, possibly?
Yes, it's possibly a deterrent. The reason being is obviously, and even in circumstances where I get complaints for anything, it's I need to be able to follow up, and from a whole customer service point of view, to be able to tell someone, what steps we're taking to remediate an issue. There's a lot more context even in terms of the investigation, and it really depends on the matter of the investigation or the case that's being explored. Sometimes it is very relevant to know who it is that is complaining, because especially if there are any links where there's a concern regarding health and safety, we prioritize that, right? So all of that those connections can be made when someone leaves contact information for us, whether it's a phone number, a name, or anything like that. The bylaw office can follow up and get more detailed information. Sometimes if it's just anonymous and it's just a brief description, there's sometimes not enough for us to go on, because the main thing is we need to be able to see, is there a violation in the bylaw? And next is what is the priority of this violation? Is it causing an issue that's of immediate health and danger to a neighbor? You know, if it's a concern that's from someone, let's just say, who's maybe not a property owner, just adjacent, in terms of that violation, it reduces the priority as much, right? If it's someone far away.
But the complainant's name would be protected, right?
Yes, it is like in terms of when someone has a complaint, you know, we're not going to be saying this is the person who
I get
told us
that,
who it is.
I think people might think that. I just had this brought up to me a couple times. Like, why do I gotta leave my name? Can't I just fill out a form type of thing?
Yeah. You know, always our recommendation is if you're having like an issue, right, and it's something that your neighbor's doing that may be bothering you, you know, have a conversation and state what it is that is the issue, and if it isn't being addressed, right, that's when we can certainly get involved. If it's again someone you don't know, you don't feel comfortable approaching, of course we're going to be following up. Again, the process we do is we look at what is the proposed, you know, violation here. We then have to investigate to see if there's proof of that violation, and if that's the case, it is a clear violation in the bylaw, then we then start with sending out the notice, and the person doesn't follow the notice, you know, or it's a regular violator, we may go straight to an order to comply. The only circumstance where someone's information may, you know, be revealed is if it is challenged in court, and the court essentially wants to kind of open it up for examination in terms of, you know, where did the complaint originate from. So, you know, there is that potential, but again, it's quite slim in terms of.
That would be if someone would contest a fine.
Exactly.
Okay, well, maybe for the next meeting, we get a brief update on some of the ongoing property standard violations and some of the new ones that might be popping up.
Great, that
in the
we
closed
can
session.
certainly do.
Thanks.
And another part of it that I have issues with or see that why do we always got to start at square one come the spring?
Yeah.
When they're repeat offenders, but we got to start again at square one and say, you get be a nice person for 30 days and do this or do that. Like, if you're a repeat offender and you're doing it year after year, like, I don't maybe there is a reason, but I don't understand it.
Generally, for repeat violators, we will just send a order to comply. I mean, always the first step is to give an information notice, just if people may not be aware of the rule, it lets them know what it is that they need to remediate, and follow through with that regard. You know, you're right, in terms of repeat offenders, though, we certainly want to expedite the process with an order to comply. The only thing is that the order, right, has to have a certain amount of time, an appropriate amount of time for them to resolve whatever that violation is. The main thing in whatever processes we take with bylaw is that we need to make sure that whatever we do is fair if it is challenged in a court, and the process is followed to a T.
Yeah. We got things going on, and then people coming downtown in the summer, and you just want things looking
Exactly.
presentable, not, oh, what am I doing in this town?
And also resources are quite a challenge, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have, in terms of bylaw time, we're spending only about 1.5 hours a day for bylaw. So, and we have someone not in full-time, right? It's a part-time position, so.
No, I understand that.
We have to make do with our current level of resources too.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, number 7, building permits and demolition permits. See what's going on there. Okay, number 8, Schreiber Public Library minutes.
Just so if you're not aware, this Friday from 1 to 3 is retirement come and go at the library for Donna. So if you can pop in, congratulate her.
Yeah,
good
for
to-
sure.
Good to know. That's,
This
This
Friday,
Friday?
1 to 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
No questions on library board meeting minutes, and we'll move on to fire department activity report, March and April.
Jan's not here, right? Just, I had a question on his report about some of the incidents that took place over the last little while, the trailer burning like just off the highway, and the 18-wheeler getting stuck downtown, or getting stuck on Perry and Drummond. Was there any cost recovery there for the expense that the municipality put out for
I believe for the trailer stuff there, the cost recovery would look at is trying to get MTO to cover it. Now, that is a good question for him, because I don't know if to what extent they would cover those fees. So, and if they did. So, that's something you can ask him.
There, I can't see there being any recovery if it happened to be strictly on township property.
Yes, for the trailer, that's correct. Because
As opposed to the highway.
as opposed to the highway, exactly.
But the truck driver that got stuck in town, and he had to use municipal equipment to get him unstuck. He was making probably an illegal turn. So is there any cost recovery there? I mean, that cost
Right.
us.
I will ask him those questions.
That one as well, okay.
And ask him to forward it to council.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, the OPP report, first quarter of 2022.
Not much change there, eh? It looks pretty safe here in our community.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
doing a good job.
We're lucky, no issues.
Okay, that takes us out of brings us into question period. Oh, yeah. I knew that. Director of Operations report. 2 reports.
So the accessibility upgrades, recommendation here is that council accept the quote from Express Automatic Door Services in the amount of $8,730 plus applicable taxes for the supply and installation of automatic door operators. And the recommendation that council accept the quote from Hunter and Thorne Electrical Corporation in the amount of $669 plus applicable taxes for the installation of power for the automatic operator at the municipal complex.
Pretty okay with that?
How many more things need to be done
What if the
for this 70,000?
well, it's gonna definitely come under budget.
Yeah.
in terms of future scope of work, we're looking at getting these push buttons installed for a lot of the accessibility washrooms. And anything else, Tammy?
Yeah, the accessibility washrooms will be about 10,000 to bring those up to code. Along with the door operators, it also comes with a push button lock on the inside and an alert call, distress call button. If and then they have to also make sure that the pipes under the sinks are covered so that people are not burning their legs if they're in a wheelchair. So that one's a little bit more expensive, but we have, I think there's, top of my head, I think there's 4 accessibility washrooms within the municipality that we need to cover.
That was my next question. Okay.
So that's about 10,000 a pop.
Yep,
Okay,
that's
That makes sense,
excluding
the
the
money.
power.
okay.
And do they all gotta be done this year?
No, I'm just staying within the budget that I was given. Once I reach that threshold, then we'll put that on, the rest off to next year.
Okay,
We'll
great.
just accomplish what we can with what money I have.
You know, a lot's getting done for that $8,700. I thought that was just gonna be the door. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's, everybody's good with that? Okay. And the second one, security.
So the recommendation here is that council accept the quote from T-Baytel for the installation of a security system at the Discovery Center in the amount of $6,637.26 plus applicable taxes. And that council accept the quote from T-Baytel in the amount of $27,095, $27, don't worry. $27.95 per month for monitoring. A significant cost for the initial installation really is because those doors are all, talking about a door of the storage car, door of the museum car. They're all separated outside, so that's added to the challenge. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Tammy?
Just that there's multiple buildings there, so it's extensive wiring to connect all the buildings to the single keypad.
When are they gonna get that done then?
I have a technician reserved for June 20th, so it's in place for the opening, providing that we get approval for it.
Sounds good.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now we'll move into question period.
Again, in terms of any questions, send it to info@schreiber.ca. I'm looking at amending the procedural bylaw to move the question period to the beginning of the agenda. I just finished the webinars on the procedural bylaw from Fred Dean, so I'm looking at making a couple of changes. So should look towards that, towards the next meeting we have. If there is any other comments regarding the procedural bylaw from council or anything like that, you can send me an email too, and while I'm doing this review in our procedural bylaw, I can take a look and see if there's anything else that you guys would want to have changed.
Okay, no other questions, we'll move into communications. Number 2 there.
What's our normal
T-shirt, hat.
donation, is that what it is?
That's what it says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
number 5, I thought we might wanna look at supporting. Any, what do you think about that one, Dave?
Read it,
Now,
1 sec.
dealing with schools, shutting rural schools down.
I mean, we should support that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
At least get a say on, you know, or have a say on, you know, what schools are shutting down as a part.
Well, you think there'd be a little more information there than what's written there, like, what school are we talking here, like,
Well, rural schools in northern.
no, but what, you know, like,
Well,
what
it
is
could
it?
be, could be a school in our municipality,
A public school,
could be.
like,
Yeah, I'm assuming like in Shunya, they're talking about out in like Mackenzie or
Yeah.
That one on, what's it, Lakefield,
Yeah,
Lakeview or whatever it is, that one just around the corner there, crossing that trailer park.
if, I think that's probably what they're talking about. But either way, they fall under a school board. Yeah, I'll
like we wouldn't see that, I don't imagine, if it was in regards to a Catholic school, do you think?
I think it's just any school is what they're saying.
Catholic school might be in a different category. I think this is more public.
Well, exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you know, like,
In order to understand it fully, you'd have to look at what exactly this Rural and Northern Education Fund, what its eligibility criteria is and how the
Yeah.
program works, right? So,
well, right now, I guess there's a moratorium on school closures, but that could be lifted, and that's the issue. If it's lifted.
Yep.
Then what?
all this is saying is this is coming out of the municipality of Shunya.
That's council resolution, they're asking for our support.
But, you know, they must have concerns for some particular
Yeah.
reason, you know, I don't know.
I think we can support it.
Oh, sure.
Anybody see anything else there?
I looked at it, number 11, and thought it deals with insurance, costs of insurance and liability with our liability, municipal liability. They're trying to reduce the amount of liability for the municipality, so
Yeah.
that'd be a good idea to support it.
in terms of this joint and several liability, it's been going on and on. You know what? It's just the increases again to insurance year after year. It's just substantial. I mean, I know that in our delegations with the province, they stated that a big issue for them was trying to figure out why it's happening. But the only issue is that we're not left with much time to ponder it because this is, again, something mandatory for our operating costs. So
Yeah,
it is getting difficult, and
yeah,
for small municipalities like us, it becomes a question of, are you going to get insurance or are you going to look at cutting certain services, right? So it's a very important issue.
they want to change, or looking at changing the model for liability.
Yep. I don't think the province's position, though, has changed much. They're still trying to do that research to determine why it's going up and how they can intervene. But for small municipalities, this is becoming completely unaffordable.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's more than doubled. It's more than doubled since we've been in here on term and not through any incidents that have happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Other than COVID or whatever, and that's what they seem to be.
Cambridge is no small municipality,
No,
so, you know, we really, I don't know, that's a different ballgame in a way. Like the insurance would be related to, you know, the insurance bill would be related to the size of the community.
yeah, but we're just,
Wouldn't it?
we're supporting,
Yeah,
we're supporting the idea.
sure.
Yeah, we're supporting the idea of lower premiums or alternatives to, you know, what
Or at
the
least,
model that's in place now.
yeah,
Yeah, so.
Okay, hearing nothing else, we'll move into unfinished business, and that's the, AMO conference, Ottawa.
So I'm no longer able to attend if that's something come up, so I would just leave Nathan.
So I'll let you know by June, I would say June 30th.
Yeah, and
You need to know, so, for
We can
cancellation,
do it the next meeting.
the next meeting.
yeah,
Unless Doug wanna go to Ottawa.
When was that date? July the what?
August 14th.
August 14th? And that's a weekend or?
I believe it begins on, it begins on the Sunday, I think that's the 14th, and then goes on 15th, 16th, potentially the 17th.
okay, so anybody's interested, come back next meeting, let us know, cause we got deadlines.
Yeah.
So that was what, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th?
Yeah, that would be the, I
14th
think
to
it's the
17th.
14th to the 17th, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, that's the only thing under unfinished business, so we'll move to other business and summer meeting schedule.
Typically do one meeting in July and one meeting in August. In terms of availability, is anyone not gonna be here?
Our next meeting is
28th.
28th, so.
We're looking towards the end of July. I think we had Ashton there the 26th, Cecile?
Maybe go to the 19th, does that make sense?
That's during Heritage Days,
I'll put forward in the next meeting suggested dates, and let's just see if we can
Yeah.
get those covered, or we can send a few proposed dates just to make sure that we do get quorum.
And August will probably be the 23rd. Without, because people being away, the 9th, the 16th, so it'll probably be the 23rd.
I think we're looking at the 30th, but
I don't,
Or the
Yeah.
30th,
I
yeah.
don't think I'm available the 23rd.
okay.
Yeah, or the 30th.
And the 30th I won't be.
Oh, you won't be here? Anyway, we'll put a few
Figure it
dates
out.
just to make sure we do
Yeah.
get quorum, and again, inevitably, if something important does happen, right, we will try to do a special council meeting if there's anything of significance.
Okay, there's Mr. Okay, well,
Again,
number 2, the draft lame duck bylaw.
So, lame duck will be triggered when there's less than 75% of council seeking re-election or elected. It depends on the period that this happens. The 2 periods from nomination day, that's August 19, 2022, to election day, October 24th, 2022, or from election day to the commencement of the new term of council, which will be November 15th. So during those periods, essentially the number that we have, if we're doing the math right, 75% would have to be 4 out of 5 of you. So to put it in an example, for instance, let's just say if the mayor ran for the mayor's position and let's say 3 out of 4 councillors decided to run for their council positions again, we wouldn't be in lame duck because you'd have 4 out of 5. This is at least based on nomination day.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you want me to do any other examples, feel free to throw them at me. I'll tell you whether it's lame duck or not. But the key thing to keep in mind, though, is you'll be restricted from doing the following things: the appointment or removal from office of any officer of the municipality, the hiring or dismissal of any employee of the municipality, the disposition of any real or personal property of the municipality which has a value exceeding $50,000 at the time of disposal, and making any expenditures incurring any other liability that exceeds $50,000 that have not already been received through budget approval. That's anything that's unbudgeted over $50,000. The way we get around it is all of those responsibilities would be typically delegated to your most senior staff member, which would be myself. Mm-hmm. So, and how we keep track of what happens is I'd be reporting if there was any circumstances where I had to make an important decision to do any of these. So it will get recorded. And again, the idea is this: it should be something right of an urgent nature where I would be intervening, in that circumstance.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're past that. And number 3, Metallium Resources update.
So we had the opportunity to meet with the president and CEO of the company, Metallium, or at least their parent company. His name is Kiram. Can't pronounce his last name. I'll just go with you. And it was a really good meeting. He took the time to come here and meet with us and explain his project. And it looks like a really key element is he's just waiting for a permit to get him started so he can start dewatering and get going. And they're really looking right at doing this as soon as possible. So within a year or 2 years, right, they could be mining the zinc. The extended life of this project is supposed to be 9.5 years, but it could be far longer. A major part of this project is that they don't know if there's any more reserves, but based on what's proven reserves are there, they're thinking this is going to be about a 9-year project.
Awesome.
We let them know if there's anything that we can do to help expedite their permits, just let us know. They have our contact information. So if they want to reach out to us for anything, we're ready to help them in any way possible.
Yeah, it was a good meeting.
That's good to hear.
Okay, so that brings the close open session. And we'll, actually, before we go into it, Dan, do you want to ask Jan them questions?
Oh, we just discussed, Jan, before you were here about any cost recovery on the trailer fire on the highway, and the other one was the tractor trailer that was stuck on Perry and Drummond Street.
I do have a claim in with the MTO on the cost recovery for the trailer fire.
Yeah.
I did have to resubmit it on May 30th. And when I checked earlier this week, they have not yet approved it or gone through the resubmission. So I'm still waiting to hear. But the value was about $1,970, I think, on that claim. As for the trailer that hung himself up on the snowbank there, no, the MTO doesn't pay us for municipal streets, so we really don't have much of a cost recovery mechanism for that.
So if somebody does makes an unnatural move in our community and causes us to spend money,
we would have to put an
unnecessarily.
insurance claim in against them, and it's
Okay.
happened several times in town here.
Yeah.
If you look at the barrier at the corner on Subway Street, as you're coming south towards the four-way at Costas, you'll notice that there's a highway barrier there that's all bent and smashed in. That was done by a intoxicated driver, and that was about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And that sort of thing would have been cost recoverable if we'd gone after the driver's insurance. And it's happened also, people have hit the barrier a couple of years ago going down the beach road where we close it. We've had some youth smash a car up there and hit the barriers there and destroy that. So yeah, that sort of thing would be cost recoverable.
So we have a we don't have a mechanism in place right now for that type of cost recovery, or?
Yeah, we'd have to get that sort of bylaw passed, policy, yeah.
We need a cost recovery by law for some of that.
Something that I think Jan's been working on, and we'll have to
You have been working on it?
Yes, I do have drafts.
Okay.
look at getting that passed too.
All right.
Okay, thanks for that, Jan.
Yeah.
Resolution 140-22, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the closed meeting resume at this time. All those in favor?